Hey guys, it's Miss Murphy. We are getting ready to start lesson 2 of unit 2. And today, by the time you are done with this lesson, you shall be able to write and solve proportions between two quantities to find a missing value, and to be able to create and use a ratio table to find a missing value. A proportion is nothing more than an equivalent fraction. Just two fractions that are equal. And that's a proportion. It's just another name for an equivalent fraction. All right, so you should find, if you did not pick up the notes for today, go to my table and find page number 3. Okay, find page number 3 and follow along with this video as I'm teaching you and fill in the notes. And as we go, you're going to try some on your own. All right, so your notes. And don't forget, stop anytime. If you can't keep up, raise your hand if you have a question, rewind if you need to. Okay, here we go. All right, so today we're going to determine if something is proportional or not proportional. All right, so in your notes, if the ratios, now you learned what a ratio was in the last lesson. So if the ratios or rates of two quantities are equal, then the quantities are said to be proportional. If the ratios or the rates of two quantities are not equal, then the quantities are non-proportional. Okay. If you happen to look at the cover of the Deck Toys, you can see that the head of this little monster is not proportional to its body because the head is so big. Okay, so that's kind of what we mean by proportional. All right, here we go. Jasmine is baking cookies, and she's also making mini cupcakes for competition. The tables below show the number of cups of sugar that she has used for each dessert after every 3 dozen that she made. So you're going to complete the table and determine the type of relationship. So we're going to do these together, okay? So she needs 12 cups of sugar, okay, for 3 dozen cookies. So what's the rate? So the rate would be 3 times what is 12? So the rate would be 4, okay? 3 times 4 is 12. If she were to make 6 dozen cookies, she needs 22 cups of sugar. So if you get on your calculator, and I have my make sure you have your calculator. If you don't have it, pause the video, go get it, come on back. All right, welcome back. So here 6 times what is 22? Well, there's nothing even, so we get our calculator and we do 22 divided by 6, and we get 3.666666666. Okay? So the rate of that one is 3.6. The next one, if she made 9 dozen cookies, she needs 36 cups of sugar. Is that right? Well, 9 times 4 is 36. And then finally, if she's making 12 dozen cookies, she needs 45 cups of sugar. 12 times, so let's do 45 divided by 12, and we get 3.75. Okay? So you see all the different rates there? So they would be said to be non-proportional. So if you look at the bottom, the sugar used in the cookies is non-proportional, okay, to the number of dozen baked, because the rate of the sugar per dozen is not equal. So it's not proportionate, okay? But let's look at the mini cupcakes. So she needs 3 dozen she needs 9 cups of sugar for 3 dozen mini cupcakes. So 3 times 3 is 9. But if she's going to make 6 dozen, she needs 18 cups. So 6 times 3 is 18. Ooh, we see a pattern here. She's going to make 9 dozen cupcakes. 9 dozen cupcakes. She needs 27 cups of sugar. 9 times 3 is 27. And finally, 12 dozen needs 36 cups of sugar. 12 times 3 is 36. So therefore, the sugar used in the mini cupcakes is proportional to the number of dozens baked because the rate of the sugar per dozen is equal. So go ahead and write that down. Stop the video so you can get it written down. We're going to do some more. Okay, there's some more practice down here. All right, so if you paused it, welcome back. We're going to do some more practice. All right, so here we're going to determine whether the quantities in each table represent a proportional relationship. And if it is, we have to give it a rate. Okay, so here we have the number of items sold and the amount raised. Okay, so whatever the item happens to be. So 5 items sold raised $30. 5 times 6 is 30. 10 items sold raised $60, which is 10 times 6 is 60. 15 items. Oh, where's my calculator? Let me pause this thing first. So 90, if you don't know what 15 times what is 90, you just get on your handy dandy calculator and you hit 90 divided by 15 equals 6. So 6 is the rate, the constant rate. And then finally, 20 items sold, $120. We do 120 divided by 20. And guess what we get? Yep, 6. So what is the constant rate? $6 per item. Okay. All right. So for every item sold, they made $6. And yes, it is proportional. So let's look at hours of snow and total accumulation of snow. That's how much is piled up. All right, so we got 3.5 inches of snow in 1 hour. So what is the rate? So 3.5 divided by 1, of course, is 3.5. So an hour of snow got 3.5. 2 hours of snow got 6. 6 divided by 2, or 2 times what is 6, is 3. So we can already see here that it is not a proportional relationship. And then in 3 hours, they got 8.5 inches of snow. So 8.5 divided by 3 is 2.83333. We're going to round it to 2.83. Okay, looks like the snow is slowing down a little bit. And then finally, after 4 hours of snow, they got 12 inches. So let's say 12. 4 times 3 is 12. Oh, went up a little bit. So here, no, they are not proportional. All right, so I'd like for you to try numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6 on your own. All right, so go back. Actually, you know what? I'll do number 3 with you. That way you have one on the back of your paper, because this is on the back of your paper, so that way you have an example to look at. Okay, so here we have green marbles and red marbles. All right, so what is the, oh, why is that not, there it goes. All right, so you would take 10 divided by 8, and we get 1.25. All right, so there's the rate. We have green marbles, 10 green marbles to 12 red marbles. All right, so is the rate going to stay the same? 12 divided by 10, and we get 1.2. So we can tell already that the answer is going to be no. But we can go ahead and finish it. 14 divided by 12 is 1.16666, and we're going to round it to 1.7. We're going to round it to the nearest hundredth. And just so to help you remember how to round if you need to. All right, so if we have 1.16666 and so on and so on. Okay, so if we're going to round it to the nearest hundredth, this is our hundredth. So we find our number and then we look next door. If this number here is 5 or bigger, we add one more. So that's when we take that, we add one more to that to make it 1.17. Got that? All right, I want you to try number 4, okay? So just do the same exact thing. It may look hard, but it really isn't, because all you have to do is use your calculator to divide. Okay? So do number 4, and then come back and check it to make sure you did it correctly. Okay? So stop the video right now. And I want to hear you clap 3 times. That way I know that you are at the point where you are stopping the video. All right. Welcome back. Let's check number 4 and see how you did. All right, so here we have fudge. I love fudge. You guys love fudge? All right, so 5 pounds of fudge costs $4. So what is the rate of the fudge? So we take $4, and if you want to go 4.00, you can, but I'm just going to use 4 as the whole number, and then we're going to divide that by 5, and we get 0.8, okay, or 80 cents. Because on a calculator, the zero is not going to pop up because we can keep adding zeros all day long. But to write 80 cents, you got to add the 0. All right, so let's see. Is the rate going to be the same if you buy 6 pounds of fudge? That $4.80. So now we have to put in $4.80. We're going to divide that by 6, and we get, boom, yes it is, 80 cents. But sometimes the more you buy, the cheaper it is. So we do need to keep going just to see. Okay, so 5.60 or $5.60 divided by 7, and it's 80 cents. Well, is it cheaper to buy 8 pounds of fudge? Let's see. 640 divided by 8, and it's 80 cents as well. Okay, so yes, they are proportionate. And what's the rate? 80 cents per pound. All right. All right, try number 5. Number 5 is distance walked in miles. And that's in how many minutes. So you can see that in 12 minutes, someone walked 1 mile in 12 minutes. I can't even run a mile in 12 minutes. How in the world did they walk it? But okay, so let's see if the rate stays the same. But pause the video, try it on your own. All right, so now you're back. So, of course, 12 divided by 1 we know is 12. All right, so 26, 26 divided by 2 is 13. 30 divided by 3 is 10. Wow. How in the world can they go from, on the 3rd mile, they're going faster. They're walking faster after the 3rd mile. I'd be slowing down. I don't know about you, but I sure would be. All right, let's see. 4 miles walked, 44 divided by 4. Of course, I already know is 11. Yep, they slowed down a little bit there. But, so, is it proportional? Nope, it is not. All right, do number 6. And then come on back and check it. But before you do, how do you change 1.5? So here you can't put 1.5 in a calculator. So you have to change that half to a decimal. And when you do that, it's 1.5 because a half equals 0.5. So it would be 1.5 divided by 3. And you get 0.5. So we're talking about we're making lemonade here. And so how much sugar do we need and how many lemons do we need to make our lemonade, and which is a half. The difference is a half, whatever. All right, so here to make another batch of lemonade, we need 2 cups of sugar. So it's 2 divided by 4, and we get, whoops, that didn't work, did it? 2 divided by 4 equals a half. And then 2.5 divided by 5, and get another half. And 3, nope, yep, divided by 6, and we know that's a half because 3 is half of 6. So yes, they are proportionate, and you need 5. So the rate is half a cup of sugar for every 1 lemon, or every 3 lemons. Okay? No. Half a cup of sugar for 1 lemon. All right, so the next part, I'll do the first one with you, and then I want you guys to do the rest on your own. All right, let's do number 7 together. All right, so the directions. If the following tables represent a proportional relationship, complete the table. So Lucy spends $1.75 on a cup of coffee each day. So you would put $1.75. So for 1 day, she spent $1.75. How much is she going to spend in 3 days? This one's different. So now we have to actually set up a proportion to figure out if it has that, to figure out what the proportional relationship is. So it's actually not hard. You can do this. So on the side over here, okay, over here, on this side over here, unless you have room somewhere else on your paper. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up the proportion. So in one day, she spends $1.75. Okay, so set that up as a fraction. And now notice how the days are on the top. You got to keep the same thing on the top and the same thing. This is the money. So here she spent 3 days, but we need to figure out how much money was spent in 3 days. Well, to figure that out is very easy. Okay, all you need to do is your calculator. So does 1.75 times 3 equal 1 times x? So that's what we have to figure out. To do that, all you have to do is cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, you multiply 175, or $1.75, my bad, $1.75 times 3, and we get 525. And then you divide what's left, which is the 1. Divide it by 1, and of course 525 divided by 1 is 525. So it's the same exact thing. Okay? All right, and let's see if it's right. We go back, we look at it. Yes, it is. So now we need to figure out, so now we still have the 1, so we're going to keep the 1 day, she spends $1.75. So now we have to figure out 5 days. Now remember, the 5 goes on top because this is where the days are. This is where the money is. So we cross multiply. $1.75 times 5, and we get 875, and 875 divided by 1 is 875. And then do the same exact thing for the 7. So here we have 1 day, $1.75 equals 7 days. Cross multiply. So go ahead, try it on your calculator. Do it by yourself, and then come back and check. So then $1.75 times 7 equals 12, 12, 25, $12.25. And there it is. Okay. All right, so try number 8. I will help you set it up if you need me to. If not, try it on your own. Okay? So go ahead and pause it. Try it on your own. If you need help, all right, just stick with me. So a car travels 52 miles per hour. So you can, it doesn't really matter whether you put the 52 on the top or the 1 on the bottom, because the hours and the miles have to be in the same. So here we'll just keep it the way it is. Hours over miles. Okay? So we have, in 1 hour we travel 52 miles. So now we need to know, in 2 hours, how many miles? Cross multiply. 52 times 2 is 104. Okay? Now figure out 5. So go ahead and pause the video. Figure out 5. So 1 hour, 52 miles equals, we need to figure out 5, and X is our missing value that we need to figure out. So you already know we're going to do 52 times 5, and we get, oopsie, 52, why is that not working? 52 times 5 is 260. Okay? And then we'll keep the 1 over 52. I don't know why I erased it the last time. But hey, Sanaya, are you listening? Just say hi. Hi, Miss Murphy, if you are, because I know you listen to my videos, and I really, really appreciate it, and that's how you learning it too. All right, so 1 hour and 52 miles. Now we need to figure out 8 miles. We need to figure out what X equals. So 52 times 8 equals 416. All right. All right, so do the last 2 on your own, and then come back and check it and see if you figured it out. If you're not sure and you just want to try just the first one, second one, then do that. Okay, that's how you're going to learn it. If you're just copying this down and just writing the answers, you're not learning a thing. Okay. All right, number 9. Jose uses 1 2/3 bags of grass seed for every 400 feet of his yard. All right, so there's your issue right there, isn't it? Because you have 1 2/3 bags of grass, right? Of grass. But you can't put 2/3 on a calculator. So we already know we have at least 1 whole bag of grass. So we're going to have a decimal point here. So now we have to change 2/3 to a decimal. And that's easy. All you do is 2 divided by 3. 2 divided by 3 is 0.66666. But we're going to round it. We're going to round 0.6666. Okay. We'll round it to we'll just round it to the nearest tenth. Okay. So we find our number, which is the 0.6. Look next door. Since this is 5 or bigger, we add one more. So that would be actually 0.7. Okay. So here we have 1.7. And now that we have that, let me erase this stuff over here. All right. Where am I? So this is the speed down here at the bottom. So at the top is 400. Okay. So now we need to find this missing number here, and we have 800. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply. So we will do 1.7 times 800 equals 1360. Then we take the answer to this after we multiply it, which is 1360, and then we divide it by what's left, which is 400, divided by 400, and we get 3.4. Now, of course, this has 3.13, but that's okay. I'd rather you just go ahead and use the decimals. So that was like a 3 1/3. All right, so we're going to go ahead and use the decimals. All right, so let's figure out the next one. So we're going to keep that 1.7, okay? So we're going to keep that same thing. So 1.7 and the 400 is going to stay here. And then here we have 1,200 square feet. So how much grass seed do we need? So cross multiply 1.7 times 1,200 equals, so we get 2,040, and then we divide it by 400, and we get 5.1, or 5/10, which is rounded to 5. Okay? And then finally the last one. Okay, whoops. That's a 0. All right, so 1,600 square feet. We're going to need how many bags of grass seed? All right, so what are you going to do? Pause the video, do it yourself, okay, and then come back and check it. All right, you came back. Did you do 1.7 times 1,600 equals, and then divide that by 400, and you get 6.8, or 6 2/3. Okay. All right. Do number 10 on your own. All right. So number 10 says an umbrella company can make 75 umbrellas a day. That's not very many. If you think about, if you learned about Henry Ford and all the cars that he put out with his assembly line. Have you guys learned about him yet in social studies? Okay, you're going to learn that once they started that assembly line, they were spitting out those cars. But here, an umbrella company can only make 75 umbrellas a day. They need to talk to Henry Ford. Okay, but anyways. All right, so an umbrella company can make 75 umbrellas a day. You're going to complete the chart. Then you're going to determine how many umbrellas they can make in 2 weeks. So we have to set up a proportion. Okay? So let's go back and look. Let me highlight this. All right. So they make 75 umbrellas in 1 day. So 75 in 1 day. So how many are they going to make in 2 days? Okay, so you do the same exact thing. Even though we're cross multiplying at a different angle, it doesn't matter. You're going to cross multiply the two numbers that you can. So we're cross multiplying 75 times 2, and we get 150, and when you divide that by 1, you still get 150. Okay, so in 2 days they make 150 umbrellas. What about in 4 days? All right. Now remember, down here are the number of days, and these are how many umbrellas they made. So these are the umbrellas, and these are the days. Okay. So you have to keep the same number as the numerator or the denominator. It really doesn't matter if you did 1/75 or 75 over 1. It does not matter. Okay. So we need to figure out, so here we got 4 days. We're going to put the 4 down here. 75 times 4 equals 300. Whoops, I already gave you the answer, number 6. All right, next one. I'm getting through this a lot faster, huh? It's pretty easy, isn't it? All right, so now we have 6 days, and I already accidentally tapped the answer for you. So you're going to multiply 6 times 75, 75 times 6, and we get 450. And then finally, 8 days. So we're going to put the 8 down here. We need to figure out how many umbrellas they're going to make in 8 days. So 75 times 8 equals 600. And of course, if you divide it by 1, which is what's left over, whoopsie. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Everything's moving around. This is driving me crazy. Get over there. Okay. Divided by 1, and we get, whoops. Oh my goodness. 75 times 8 equals 600 divided by 1 equals 600. Oh, there it is. So now, there's another question. So how many can they make in 2 weeks? So think about it. How are you going to figure that out? What do you need to know about 2 weeks? You need to know how many days are in 2 weeks. So before you can figure out how many days are in 2 weeks, you got to figure out how many days are in a week, right? You guys know that. Y'all are smart. All right, so now we know that one umbrella, or no, my bad. It takes 1 day to make 150 umbrellas. Notice how I'm switching it around, because I'm going to show you how it doesn't matter. Okay, remember, these are the days, these are the umbrellas. So we need to figure out in 2 weeks. So that's 14 days. Now remember, the days are on the top, so we got to put the 14 up here. And then we go ahead, we cross multiply. 150 times 14 equals 2,100. And then we divide it by what's left over, which is 1, and we get 2,100. Does anybody know the mistake that I just made? What mistake did I just make? I made a big mistake. Look here. How many of you guys figured that out? Right there. And look at that. They didn't make 150 umbrellas in one day. They made 75 umbrellas in one day. It's a good thing I figured this out beforehand. Then I would be giving you guys the wrong answer. All right, so we're gonna try that again. We're gonna erase that. We'll erase that. Oh, we'll just erase the whole stinking thing. All right, so one umbrella. Well, I mean, in one day they make 75 umbrellas. So now we need to figure out in 14 days how many umbrellas. So now I think we got it. 75 times 14 is, there we go. Okay, 14 times 75, and you get 1,050 umbrellas. All right, so what do you think about this? Pretty easy, isn't it? Okay, as long as you understand what the questions are asking, this is going to be a breeze and you guys are going to ace this. I know it. I know it. All right, so now that you guys are done with this, what I want you to do is I want you to go on to iExcel, and it's already in the Schoology. All you got to do is click on it, and you are going to go to J.9 on iExcel, okay? So iExcel J.9. All right. So easy cheesy, huh? All right, guys. Good job. Let me know if you need anything or have any questions. I'll be bebopping around. And I also need some helpers. If anybody can come in early and you want to help me make some of these videos, you are more than welcome. You just let me know.